Well, hey, good evening. Welcome back to my little gardening show. I wanted to take you along tonight as I'm in the midst of planning this year's garden. Had a free weekend, and so trying to make good use of the time. Get some things, put down on paper or on the spreadsheet here. And so I want to take you along and show you some of the tools I'm using this year to plan this year's garden. Give you a little context. Most years, do a decent job kind of mapping things out, planning out what we want to do, what bed of the garden, what area of the garden things are going to be planted in, and all that good stuff. But one thing I've not been real good at is succession planning the crops that we grow. And there's a couple reasons. One, I just haven't done it a whole lot. And two, typically what happens with the garden is we spend a lot of time and effort up front, we get it going, and then it just kind of runs itself. And then as we harvest things, the beds go fallow, and we've got a lot of this open space that we're not utilizing. And we're pretty busy, and it's hard to keep up with everything, especially in the summer when summer sports are going on, kids are running all over the place, plus we're mowing grass for, different family members. It becomes a challenge just to keep up with everything. But this year I want to try to be a little more intentional, be a better steward of what we have access to, and try to get the most out of it, for, the next year in terms of food storage and things of that nature. So I was putzing around and came across this app. It's called SeedTime. So let's jump in. We'll get into some of the tools. I'll show you my Excel spreadsheet first, and then we'll jump into this SeedTime app. So this past fall, I put together an inventory of everything that I've got, and I've got quite a bit actually. I've got 225, close to 225 different varieties of vegetable. And I think about 40 different types of vegetables, fruits and vegetables. So I cataloged everything with the most current date that I saved seed, off to right here, this column. And then what we did, I showed my wife this, and we went through and she helped me pick out the things that she wants. And so I highlighted all those in yellow. So, there's a fair amount of things that she wants me to grow this year. There's a few things that we need to order. But once I get all this is kind of the first step. Just identifying what you want to grow. And when you're doing it, it's important to pick things you're actually going to eat, and not do a bunch of exotic or experimental vegetables that you may or may not like, or aren't reliable. Maybe they're more difficult to grow. Better to start off with like the basics. If you're first planting a garden, like lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, like just a basic salad garden. So anyway, we got all that mapped out, and then got into this app called SeedTime. So I don't know I can't remember where I saw the advertisement for this. It may have been Instagram or YouTube or something, but decided to check it out. It's a web-based app, so you can access it on any device. Once you log in, you've got all the functionality. When you first set up your login, which is like an email and password and stuff, you get access to the free version. The first thing you do is you set up your frost dates or your address. So you key in your zip code, and then it shoots out what zone you're in. We're in zone 6A, which is up above here. I scrolled down to the part where then you've got your frost dates, and I changed these a little bit based off of what we experience here in Southwest Ohio in my little microclimate, but they weren't too far off. Then there's a few options down here where it displays crop warnings if you're moving planting schedules outside the recommended times and stuff. But these dates here are going to drive everything in the app in terms of the planting schedules. So again, it's important to, if you're just starting a garden and whatnot, you can go by like the Farmer's Almanac or, the average frost dates. But once you get some experience in an area and you keep track of, when you're starting stuff, you're kind of tracking the weather, you're tracking when you typically get your first frost, last frost. For us here around the middle of May, you're pretty safe to plant out your warm weather stuff without risk of frost. Typically I'll put the tomatoes and peppers and stuff out like Memorial Day weekend. I'll go even just a little bit later, but anywhere from like middle of May 15th on, you're pretty safe. And then for us, it's around Halloween weekend when we get our first like hard frost, that first killing frost. And so, once you get, that, kind of what your microclimate, your particular area is, you can kind of customize this tool to drive everything else. So once you got that, you just go to this calendar. And I've already got my stuff plugged in terms of my crops, right? And you can filter this. So like if we just want to look at one, I got a whole bunch in here. Different crops, different varieties. But let's say we want to look at the broccoli schedule. I can just type in broccoli. It's going to filter everything else out, even though it's still live. It's just going to let me see what the broccoli schedule is. So right now, the other thing too is you can filter by task. So if I just want to see, when's the seeding schedule, I know right now I'm going to be starting seeds. March 25th, right? There's March, read it across. I'm going to be starting seeds around March 25th, and then my transplants or my succession planting is going to be around the week of June 5th for my second round. Let's highlight transplanting and harvest. So start seeds March 25th, plant them out the end of April, beginning of May. And then I start harvesting here around the end of June, and right about the time that I pulled out the rest of the broccoli, my next set of transplants are ready to go in the ground, right? Because I started seeds beginning of June there. So that's the power of this tool for me, at least, is like being able to visualize, all right, I start seeds here, transplant there, I'm harvesting here, I want to time my succession or my second planting, to time it so that as this bed's coming empty, I can put some more stuff into it, right, and maximize the use of the bed. And that's just one crop, right? And these crops, as you add them, to add a crop, you just click on add crop, and then they've got most of the crops. Now the paid version, you'll have the option of adding, customizing this even more and whatnot. But let's say we want to do, turnips. They've got some varieties in here already. Again, the paid version, you can put your own variety. Let's say it's Amber Globe. I can add a tag to it. I can change the color. I can go to these advanced settings, and I can even customize the dates. Like, they're going to run off the average frost dates you put in for spring and fall, but you can deviate from that through the advanced settings here. But then once it's scheduled, we'll just go with, it's relative to the frost. We're going to go with that variety. I'm just going to put schedule. So now it's on my schedule. It's on the list. We can scroll all the way down and find it because it's in alphabetical order. So here's turnips. Again, we can edit it. You can also link, so if you're doing multiple varieties and they're going to start seeds at the same time, you can link them. So if you move one, it's going to pull the other one with it. But let's just type in TUR. So I've filtered everything out. We see we're going to be starting them based on the dates. April 17th, they say, to direct sow seeds in the ground, and then we're going to be harvesting around June 19th through July 2nd. You know, knowing that, there's enough time to start another crop, so I can go down here and click on the little dots and click Add Succession. So now I added a succession and went 2 weeks. I think it's the default. You can click into that, and you can edit it to where in the advanced settings where you can change the succession plan. Say you want to do it in 4 weeks instead of 2, you change it to 4 weeks, right? Or what I've been doing is I've just simply been dragging this around. You know, so if I've only got one bed and I'm starting to harvest turns from that, I'm going to direct sow immediately following that. So it takes a little while, but so as soon as that bed's empty, I'm sowing again, so then I can start harvesting again in September, right? So that's pretty cool. And then if you want to delete, like I'm not going to grow turnips. You just delete these out. And then there's a couple different ways of viewing stuff. You can view by year. I like the timeline view. What the timeline view does is it just gives you the rundown of all your vegetables. And you can drag this so you can see the titles of everything. But just alphabetical order, it shows you where it's going to fall on the planting schedule. So you know, with the broccoli, we're going to start the end of March. Cabbage into March. Carrots is going to be mid-April. And then succession plan will be in mid-July, right? So really handy to see everything just at a glance. You know, starting the peppers, beginning of April for the most part. Transplanting them into May. Harvesting starting the end of July, beginning of August through October, right? That's about right. Same with our tomatoes. So I like this view, but I also like the calendar view as well, where it's kind of a snapshot of the year, and it groups it by, instead of grouping it by vegetables, and in the years or the months are over here, it's grouping it by months and then throwing you the weeks on when you have things to do. Another really cool feature about this tool is that it's got a task list. So, you know, I can log in. I've got the password saved on my smartphone and stuff. I can log into this app. And it's mobile friendly, so I can click on the task icon and it will give me a list of tasks that I've got to do for the week. So for example, we go over to the navigation here, we go to the task list, and I know we got stuff going on in March. Let's just pull the weekend of the 25th. It's going to give me a list of everything. This is stuff that's overdue because this was like scheduled in February. And then here's everything that was due, or that's due the week of March. And then you can tick these off, you know, as you're getting them done, right? So pretty cool. Kind of keep you on track there. And then there's a journal to take notes. And then for the paid versions, there's a bunch of classroom stuff. There's a few more bells and whistles depending on what subscription level you pick. All right, if I go to my profile, you can go to the subscriptions here. Right now I'm on the free plan, but there's a basic plan. It's like $10 a month, and it's got so many features, or you can pay it by year. Or you can go the unlimited plan, where right now they're beta testing stuff, so you can get it for $13 a month or $109 a year. And it's got all this future release stuff they're going to be adding to it. Plus, you can customize the tool right now with the varieties and stuff. It's kind of baked in what you can do. Kind of my workaround for that, at least right now. When I go down and say tomatoes, because they didn't have some of the varieties, I just picked a similar variety, say like the Chadwick one. And in the label, I put Datarino, right? Because that's actually the type of tomato I'm doing. And then if I go to the timeline view, and then drag this name column out enough, and we scroll down the tomato, there they are. So Chadwick Datarino, I know what that is, right? So anyway, really powerful tool. I mean, especially with it being free. And then what I did was I took screenshots. You can print it to PDF and all that. I went ahead and just screenshot the different things and plugged it into a Word doc so I could format it a little bit better. But really powerful tool to kind of visualize your tasks, you know, your plantings, establish a succession plan, which I've not really had before, to this extent anyway. You know, and the beauty of it is that it did all that automatically based off the frost dates that I customized to my microclimate. So now my next step is that, you know, I need to get some supplies. I got to order a few seeds, and then I've got a template that has all my garden beds. So if we go back to my Excel tool that I've got here, I've got a template that's got the different spaces and how many beds I typically do. You know, there's 12 beds kind of in the middle. There's the tomato trellis here. We get the large garden area to the north, and then a pretty large area on the south, and then rhubarb is up here. But I can write in, you know, print this off and write in what I want to do where, right? So that'll be my next step, as well as far as where is everything going to be located this next year. Now that I know what we're doing and kind of when we're doing it, just need to know where it's going to go. So anyway, if you get a chance, again, the app, it's called SeedTime. It's been pretty good so far, and it's free, at least right now. So check it out. Hopefully it'll help you in your garden planning this year. So I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening.